So now that we've seen functions and function prototypes, let's talk about passing values to those functions. Here we can see a simple void function. We're going to show the result of the math it's going to do here in the function. So show sum. Here inside of main, you're going to see we're going to pass three values, values 1, value 2, value 3, to show sum, which is going to actually output the value we see here. Things of note, number one, remember that it does not matter what kinds of values we pass to the function. That doesn't mean that show sum has to be an int function type because it receives integer values. That is not important. The return type is what is important there. So again, because void is simply producing a result, we do not have to change the function type as a result of that, but we do have to include here in the function prototype, we do have to include what parameters we're passing along. So they do not have to be named here in the function prototype. They only have to be listed by what type to expect. So we are saying here on line number 5 that show sum down here is going to be expecting 3 integer type values. The other thing to know here is we were talking about scope before in the previous session. Here in this session, if we were to call these value 1, value 2, value 3, that would be fine. Just be aware that value 1, value 2, and value 3, had we called them that here, are in fact not the same thing as values 1, 2, and 3 back in main. One of the things that you will have probably discovered in 276 but have forgotten about before here when we strike down on 277 is the idea of that mismatch that we as developers are liable to make when we use the variable names incorrectly. It's because we are the ones that are going to make the mistake. The environment here is not going to make that mistake. So what are you going to do with the scope of a variable? Can you reuse those variable names? Yes, absolutely. But do recall that if there's somebody who's going to mess that up, it is not going to be C++. It is in fact going to be you. So just to prove that this works, we'll come back over here. I have, you'll notice I'm just taking values. So I got lazy, 100, 200, 300. Those are passed by value over here to my show sum. So remember that pass by value means that I am really not passing these parameters. I am passing the value stored in the parameters there. So in so doing, show sum does not really have access to value 1, value 2, value 3. Show sum has copies of values 1, value 2, and value 3 that it can use. So let all of that work its way back here. One of the assignments that you're going to get is going to use this idea of pass by value or pass by reference. So that'll be our next video.